Boom. Oh, I didn't bring any wet wipes.
God, I just peeked that thing.
Did it light up? When you
Yeah.
Nice. My wrist hurts from yesterday. I went to
Fine,
the
'cause as soon as we're
masturbatorium.
done recording, we're...
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's fine.
So let's treat this like work. Let's knock this out.
Alright, a whole lot less kids would get diddled if they just legalize abortion.
Yeah, they make too much money diddling those kids, though.
Are they making money doing it, or are they making money hiding the doing it?
It's a pyramid scheme. And at the bottom is children. And at the top is Donald Trump. They're fucking them all the way up.
How's
See,
that
the
for a
problem is
cold
the
open?
exact same pyramid scheme as the Democrat side, with Joe Biden's at the top.
It's a shorter pyramid, I hope.
No, they're exactly
They're
the
exactly the
same
same
size.
height.
It's one's built by the bankers and the other is built by businessmen. They all fuck kids.
On opposite sides of the same valley.
It's red versus blue.
Both teams are exactly the same in their complete disregard for children.
No. They regard them very highly, but only for their holes.
That would
That's
make
enough. That's enough politics. For
yeah,
now,
that
I
would
think.
make my skin crawl just a little bit.
Good. It's who you're voting for. Those are your options. Don't tell me to vote. I've seen what those people do. Ugh, it's disgusting.
Let's pivot to something gross, but a better kind of gross.
Our political system's pretty disgusting. I don't think there's much topic.
This is coming from the guy who wanted to move on from politics. Well, you're not even talking about politics anymore.
No, I'm talking about politics. That's a completely different subject that's about the subject that I don't want to talk about.
I don't even want to talk about the subject anymore.
Shit.
Speaking of shit,
You have a monster.
on the way home, you looked at my car.
Oh, only if that umbrella.
Anal sex is just knowing that you're going to come into turds.
Oh, like a plumber.
That's why so many anal videos start with a plumber. as the
He had to clean your
premise.
pipes out.
Yeah, except he's just going to put cum in their poop.
He's not even. No, he's just got different attachments for his penis to help clean out her pipes.
Okay, so
Imagine if it was just a pipe cleaning service.
Okay, so you know like those big machines that they pull? It's like a drain snake, but it's powered by a generator.
Sewer jets.
Yeah, the sewer jet. Okay, so you detach your penis.
Yeah.
And you attach one of those.
Yeah, your dick is the nozzle.
So he actually is here to
The
clean
nozzle.
the pipes.
That's so much a joke as it is a reference. I wouldn't call that a joke just because...
Isn't a reference just a joke that you don't have to make because somebody else made it for you?
Not necessarily. How many seasons do you think The Simpsons will get before the economy finally crashes for good?
There's still just going to be one guy hand
Yeah.
animating in a post-apocalypse. Gotta
Yeah.
keep the Simpsons going. He just
It's his whole
wanted
name.
he wanted to outlast everybody else dying so that he could bring Apu back as a character and do the voice, but nobody can yell at him for it.
It's too real, man. We've all met an Apu.
They're all actually really nice.
Yeah, they're nice people. There was an Indian guy who ran a convenience store near where I lived, and he actually owned a fucking Trans Am. It didn't have the eagle on it, but it was that car.
He was
basically.
working up to it.
Yeah, no, probably. And every Indian man wants a sick mullet. I've seen some Bollywood films. I know.
I have never watched the Bollywood film.
Cool.
No, you're a coworker. I didn't.
This is work.
This is
You are a
work.
coworker.
You are a coworker. I don't like you, and the hatred fuels the comedy.
Yeah, that's why we're being so quiet right now.
It's like Penn and Teller. They don't like each other, but they're
Gay lovers either way. Who do you think has the bigger dick between them?
definitely neither
Definitely.
of them. I don't think. I think they.
No,
I think they share one. They trade it
You-
back and forth.
You think the reason they're so funny is because their penises are exactly the same length.
They are penis twins.
Meeting in the bathroom somewhere, that looks exactly like my dick.
Okay, so just set the scene. It's a bathroom. The two dudes enter to go to the urinal at the same time. And they both just whip it out at the same time. And then they both just, give the side eye at the same time. And they're like, oh my god, we're penis twins. It's either a great sketch or a great gay porno. I would watch either one.
Yeah, same. Oh my god, we're dick twins. You want a 69 on the floor
It's
of
the
this dirty
closest
bathroom?
you could ever get to fucking your own penis.
I imagine that there's someone with just the right amount of ductility to their penis. They can maintain an erection that's just hard enough, yet just soft enough to fuck themselves in the ass. And come.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, a prehensile dong that can maintain just enough rigidity
Dong rigidity is a fucking engineering term.
We
Schlong strength.
We penis engineers grade penises on a number of different factors. Rigidity, obviously, is one of them.
Length is actually way less important than anybody thinks.
Again, length is more of a modifier than an actual metric.
Girth is far more important than length.
Although there is a point where you exceed the bounds by too much.
Yeah.
You want it to be girthy right up until you don't anymore.
Oh, see, I like it the other way around. I like it real girthy at the top and then skinny at the bottom. I like to feel it pop.
I like a good cylindrical penis. Basically, that's what I'm hearing. So you like a cylindrical penis, not a cylinder, a cone.
No, it's more like a portobello mushroom. A real wide cap and a skinny base.
Yeah, but flip it around.
Okay, yeah.
So the for the camera we don't have, let me show you this visually.
Just doing it at the microphone. Like
yeah.
What are you doing? A Hadouken. Yeah, if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. We just Hadouken into the microphone simultaneously with our penises. It was a thrust and a Hadouken at the same time.
What other metrics would a penis engineer?
Are they engineering penises?
Yes.
Okay. Shit, man.
No, it's the factory where they're made.
The angel that runs the penis factory.
So do they know what it's eventually going to look like? Or do they just I know what it is, but I don't know what it is.
No, I just meant the specific scene at the beginning of that movie where they're showing them what their kids will look like.
Oh yeah, so that, but specifically for...
But for dongs.
Just for dongs.
Yeah.
Just for dongs.
Just for dongs. That's better than condom sense, I think.
No, just for dongs is the...
Dust for John.
The more approachable version of just for men.
It's pants for your balls. Little ball pants.
Little ball pants. I like denim. My buddy likes some corduroy ball pants.
I like velour. I like a nice velour ball bag rather than pants.
It's the most advanced modern loincloth technology available.
No, it's just
it's not.
It's
it doesn't,
what my earbuds came in.
It's so a loincloth is just a curtain for your junk. What they now make is a satchel.
The ball.
It's like a fanny pack, but it's a.
Oh, it's just a jock strap.
Yeah.
No, it's a ball.
But
sack.
it cradles everything real nicely. You can run in it, and it doesn't look as funny as you would expect.
It looks even funnier.
Yes, but it makes the jiggle less physically uncomfortable. It's like a bra for your balls.
Yeah, I need that because I actually don't. It's not a comfortable.
It's a sports bra for your balls.
Sports balls.
They also have some red carpet affair style. They have formal ball sacks.
Formal ball sack. It's got a little bow tie on it, but you have to put a bow tie on your dick.
You put a bow tie on your dick. No, the formal wear one is just suspenders.
Yeah, my sack hangs too low. I've got to get these.
It goes around your neck.
It took 2 hours for the doctor to fit my suspenders because they have to go through every temperature range of your balls. You have to sit in these special pants and they heat them up to get your balls to the extent, as far as they'll go.
I have what's known as massively expanding sack syndrome.
Yeah.
So
I've seen some big sacks in my time.
I can't wear shorts past a certain length, or I have to wear shorts past a certain length.
Yeah, no inseam's under 13 inches.
Especially with this heat wave we're going through, they just drip right out of my shorts.
Yeah. No, my grandpa had that. It was terrible. Ball sack would just drip out right on the recliner, and every time you wait, Grandpa, put your balls up. He's like, I can't.
I have to carry a towel. I'm in a weight room. I gotta wipe my ball residue.
I can't imagine sacks would work for somebody like you with that much sack.
Mostly, I've just been not allowed to wear shorts anymore.
No, see, that's why you should get a sack. That's why I got a sack.
Well, okay, so up until recently...
I love wearing short shorts.
No, until the dong fanny pack, I had to just kind of get some little cylinder base and then just wrap it up like a scroll.
Oh, yeah. I had a piece of PVC pipe I used for that.
Yeah.
But I would just roll that thing up like an anime wall scroll.
It's nice to take a shower because I can just throw it over my shoulder and wash it up here by my shoulders.
Do your balls hang low? Do they wobble? I have tied them in a bow.
I think that's about as far as much as I can pull from that.
That's as much as I can get out of that sack.
That's a good 5-minute ball sack.
Welcome to the Preach Round. This is episode 6. I'm Nick.
I'm Chase.
You're welcome, listener who would complain about a podcast on
Episode 6.
Is that what this is?
I actually don't know anymore.
Okay, so episode 5 is episode 4. And episode 4 is episode 5. Now we're on episode 6.
I think that math checks out. Right, no, this is the first post-release
and
episode.
Nobody's listened to it like we thought, except for us and maybe one other person. To get promoted, but not promoted, you get fired. But to promote themselves.
Self-promoting.
Especially when your podcast is just poop jokes and talking about long balls. I wish I had
mall,
long
though?
balls.
More people listen to our show than go to the mall. And nobody listens to our show.
I mean, you're not wrong.
raiding a retail store's intercom system, and then when they catch you, it's like, I need, it's for exposure. I need a bigger platform
to expose
and
myself.
your store's PA system is that platform.
The biggest I can find.
I tried to do it at a concert, and they kicked me off the stage. A podcast concert.
Dude, they've done them. You don't know.
Isn't that just TED Talks? A
Like,
podcast convention.
No, the podcasting is real stupid. I don't want to sell you Squarespace.
I wish that this could capture how much my cheeks shake when I shake my head.
You know, we do have a YouTube channel.
Just 5 minutes of my jowls.
Not even 5
gibbering.
minutes, 20 seconds or so of you doing that, and then we can loop it to jowl rumble in good time.
I rumbled my jowls so hard we knocked our speaker over.
Except for it's not the speaker, it's the thing that does. It's the opposite of the speaker. You know when you talk in your own
Okay,
head?
so you can save the corrections for the editing phase, alright? I need you to not do that to me again while we're recording. Do you have anything you want to rant about?
I just wanted to talk about abortion being good. Because it keeps those children out of the hands of pedophiles.
You said that as if you were just, like, kicking a rock. Like, oh, I don't know.
I don't know, man. I hurt myself too bad the last time I tried to suck my own dick. Threw my back out.
Legitimately. Just flexible enough to get the tip. I was able to lick the tip, and it felt more like I was licking a penis than my penis getting licked.
Yeah, you need to eat more warheads.
I've got to drown my mouth in warheads till I can't feel my tongue anymore, and then it's like it's someone else's tongue.
You give yourself the stranger, but with your tongue.
I'm not as flexible as I was when I was 14. Those were my dick sucking years of my own. Those were my self sucking years.
Don't want to put your future in regard here. That was the end of my dick sucking day. I don't know, 45? I might get back into sucking dick.
I'd have to lose a lot of weight first. I can't wait to get cancer so that I'll be skinny enough
to suck my own dick. My hair will all fall out. Man, being hairless would be nice. I was born with too much hair.
Were you born with a beard?
Yes. I was born looking exactly like Jesus. Little baby Jesus. Not Jesus as a baby, but baby Jesus. No.
When Jesus was a baby.
No.
You look like Jesus, but as a baby.
Yes.
Adult Jesus.
As a baby.
As small, little chibi baby Jesus.
Yes, but not at all Japanese. I had regular sized eyes.
Oh, you didn't have that little eye shine?
No, I never got that. That's why I'm straight. Unlike Jesus. That's why he started a commune, like some kind of communist.
Oh, yeah. Jesus was a communist.
Just another hero killed by the state.
That's my new argument against the death penalty. It's like, what if you killed Jesus? The Roman state sponsored the death of Jesus.
It's fine. He'll come
back. What if your death penalty kills the new one?
Good. Never liked that guy anyway. He was the Charles Manson of his time. He was just trying to start a race war. Who knew it would reverberate so far forward into time?
Which race?
No, different kind of racism.
Oh, race war like Fast and the Furious. Isn't that what that movie's about? Is race wars?
The first one, yeah. The first one is all about race wars. In one of the later films, they go back to race wars. It's so far in the like Vin Diesel goes back to race wars after having robbed everything.
Everything. That movie series just became superhero movies.
It always was
for car nerds, car jerkers.
Yeah, mostly. That movie was aimed directly at me. Came out in 2001. I was 11 years old.
Hey, look at this car you should buy, but you don't have the money, so fuck you. Watch this movie instead.
It was more like, hey, look at all these cars that aren't the dumb shit your dad likes.
I'm oddly reminded of Fantastic Four 2, which has one of the worst moments of product placement. Their iconic hover car thing.
Yeah.
I think it's the Human Torch goes, is that a Hemi? And Mr. Fantastic is like, of course it is. My dad groaned loudly when we saw that in the theater.
You have too much in common.
We didn't watch that movie. That movie happened to us. I've reached a point where I can't tell if a movie's terrible anymore.
Oh, see, I always know the definition, where good and bad lies, and I know exactly which side to be on to have more people yell at me.
I like movies until I read the review.
I like making up my own review, and then making other people read it and get mad at me. Without ever watching the movie.
Star Wars was never actually good.
I really like the prequel trilogy.
I think that The Phantom Menace is the best Star Wars movie.
You know, that's strong.
I can't even pretend I feel that way.
I really like Clone Wars. The TV series.
I never watched it. I didn't need backstory on a movie I already did.
Oh, see, if you ignore the movie's existence and just watch the Clone Wars part, it's actually alright. I think that's what a lot of kids did. They conflate the two in their heads now.
Yeah, no, I think the cartoons actually did a whole lot more, a better job of preserving the nostalgia of the movies than the movies themselves.
Those movies are shit. You go back and watch them now, they're bad.
Cartoons are better actors than...
Natalie Portman's really bad in that movie.
That's how it is not Hayden Christensen's fault. Because Natalie Portman is a good actor too. And she sucked in that movie.
Every line is delivered so stiffly from everyone. Ewan fucking McGregor, a man who just years before had his head in a toilet.
Ewan McGregor, the man whose voice like literally drops everybody's panties, men included, couldn't deliver some of those fucking lines. Specifically, the scene where Anakin admits to slaughtering the whole village. He's covering his mouth because he's trying not to laugh. Even the best actor in that movie couldn't deliver those lines.
It rhymes.
It's engaging, but garbage. Yeah, no, I think that is probably what we're aiming for here. Alright, so you like the free piss too?
I put my hands on my hips.
I put mine behind my head.
I will do that at the urinal. As a power move. Somebody looks at my dick, so I just take a look, buddy.
I don't even pretend to try and no, don't look at my penis. I'm like, get a good one.
It's hard not to look at it.
I've actually taken the divider down before pissing just as a...
I did that on accident once because I kept fiddling with the screws and I accidentally pulled the screw out and the whole thing fell over.
You ever have to pee for so long that you actually get bored?
Oh yeah, all the time.
It takes so long to finish peeing that you're like, you start just wandering.
Have you ever fucking noticed my ADHD ass start 4 things at the same time? I do that while I piss. I start fiddling with shit. I have my phone in one hand and just be doing shit with the other, just... trying to paint the walls.
It's like, oh shit, I'm still going.
Be 10, 15 minutes. I drink way too much caffeine and not enough water, so it just builds up.
And then once you finally drink liquid,
it's like I'm a hose.
I'm a hose. There's a kink in the hose. Okay, so it's like, you know how every time you pee, you pee and then you stop and then you have to dribble out a little bit more. There's always just that extra little dribble because you got to, okay.
I like to leave that in my pants.
No, but have you ever? It's like you need a refractory period to pee, and then your dick gets tired, and then you pee a little bit more. If you hold,
if you had to piss like you come,
if you like a moron hold it for too long, that second little dribble becomes just a full on piss.
Have you ever stood at the urinal long enough to have 2 whole pisses?
Yes, I have. I have out-pissed 2 people before.
I went in the stall one day just because I had to piss so bad. I feel like the longest pisses I've ever had, I had to sit down for. Like, I'm going to be honest with you.
I'm usually drunk for those.
Yeah. Maybe it's because I'm drunk. They felt way longer. It was actually just, 20 seconds or whatever.
It's piss dilation.
But it felt like 2 minutes.
The harder you have to pee, the longer it feels like it takes. Okay, no, so is the area above your dick the opposite of the taint?
It's the ain't.
The ain't. Okay, so just a pressure gauge right in my ain't to tell me, like, I've reached...
Man, cybernetic enhancements are getting stupid.
I didn't want a cyborg penis. I just wanted a pressure gauge.
It's still a cybernetic enhancement. Unless it's an analog valve, and it actually, like, you have to...
Yeah, no, it's analog.
And then I guess, that's...
I gotta flick it every now and then because the needle gets stuck.
Steampunk?
I've got steampunk junk.
Steam junk.
Actually, every now and then, I like to put steampunk goggles.
I got a big band. I can wear them like a belt. They're just a belt buckle.
Okay.
And occasionally, I don't wear pants.
No,
occasionally I'll just put them down over my penis, like my penis is the nose.
I put the goggles over my ain't, so the penis is the nose of the steampunk. Okay, no, I love the steampunk tropes so much that I wish I could fuck the concept of steampunk.
No, just that one chick that does the cosplay. Who's actually hot.
I don't even have to know who you're talking about to agree to that.
No, because there's really probably only...
There is only one cosplayer per fandom that's actually attractive. They only get one.
No, it's for every... Like, you're only allowed to like one. By God.
You have to pick.
You have to pick.
It's your cosplay patron.
You have to have a waifu. You're not allowed to have... you have to pick one.
There's no waifu polygamy.
But per fandom. So you can pick one hot Pokemon lady. But you're not allowed to pick different ones. Well, what if they're from different series? No. The entire series.
Okay, but what if there's 2 separate ones where one only does cosplay of the show and one only does cosplay of the game? Is that enough separation?
If that character ever appeared in the games, then no.
Okay,
Same with TV.
It can't be a crossover.
It can't be a crossover character. It has to be limited to the one fandom.
Okay.
You can say, I hate the show and I love the games and love that character. Cool. But if that character's appeared in the show, you can't say that anymore.
Okay, so...
Then you love something about the show.
Hypothetically speaking, if I find a cosplayer dude that likes to dress up as I like to wear shorts.
You can pick one from
They're
each
easy
gender.
and comfortable to wear.
You can pick one from each gender. All three.
No, I want a cosplayer of the... I like shorts. They're comfy and easy to wear kid. But all grown up, he still loves shorts. Yeah, no, that man has shorts energy. I think...
I hate that he's actually short. That's the worst part, is talking about shorts, about someone who's short. He's too short for his shorts.
They're his pants.
It's not. They're not that short, but he's too short for those shorts.
Have you ever met someone short enough that Jenkos are actually just pants? The big shorts are actually just pants. There's such a disproportion between the length of your leg and the size of these shorts that they've become pants.
Two on one side.
Two legs.
Yeah, no, she had 2 feet on one side, but it was growing out of like the bottom of her shin. And her family didn't have enough money to get it removed or whatever. So she needed the Jinkos because they were extra wide.
Because they were extra. And you know, custom shorts with a bigger right leg.
And the pants would not fit her at all. Like it wasn't even. It was like there was a whole nother pair of pants.
No, it's okay. It's like
material.
Have you ever tried to put your shirt on and you accidentally get too much of your arm in the sleeve and you actually can't get it out?
Have you ever gotten your head all the way through the sleeve before?
I have.
Me too. I hate turtlenecks.
There's been a couple times in my life where I'm not even gonna say accidentally. I've just been so dumb that I've stubbornly put on a shirt that was too small for me. I didn't quite realize how too small it was for me until after I put it on. And then I couldn't get it off. It's like claustrophobia, but with your clothes. And so I couldn't get it back off, but then I got it stuck over my head. And so I'm just like trying not to panic. I gotta get this shirt off. I gotta get this fucking shirt off. Yeah, I'm gonna die if I don't get the shirt off. And then you get it off and you're embarrassed even though nobody saw it.
You're the only person that was there and you're embarrassed for yourself by yourself.
Yeah. That's a lifelong issue.
No, yeah, that's pretty much my entire life. I was once not ashamed to be myself, and I was on a lot of drugs. And then I came down, and now I'm here.
There's an inflection point in which I realized I should have been ashamed of myself this entire time. And that was middle school.
It was right after all the hormones kicked in, and I realized, no, actually, I am garbage.
Having enough self-awareness to know how shitty you are, but do nothing about it.
Doing nothing about it makes it even shittier. That's the best part.
Being aware of the problem and going, nah.
Is there really a solution for being a shitty person, though? Other than, like, lobotomy.
Why don't they lobotomize people anymore? It seemed like it worked real well.
No, like, that's a shitty joke. I think it's funny. I think it's a great punchline. But that's it. It's, like, if you actually think about it at all, it's funny.
I only ever say punchlines. I make other people infer the setup. It's like Comedy Jeopardy. You have to guess what the setup to the punchline was.
That's the category, is knock knock. And
okay.
You
have to figure out what the knock knock was. You have to figure out who was there.
And they read you the punchline, and you have to guess that it was Dracula.
The final round is you have to reverse engineer the whole stand-up comedy set just from the recording of the audience.
I would love to see somebody try to do that. Just try to guess what a comedian's talking about, just based on you can't hear anything.
No,
it's just the reaction.
You only have
facial reactions of one table. It's 4 autistic men,
and then just seeing how close it was to at least getting the same reaction. It doesn't even necessarily have to be. You just have to craft a
if you can get the timing right based off their reactions, it's good enough.
Here's your marks.
Yeah.
You have to get this facial reaction from audience member number 3.
It feels like a shitty video game.
It's fraud. He commits fraud. He finds like a pacifist shark who doesn't want to be a shark. And so he agrees to pretend to attack so that it can fight him off.
Alright. Anyway.
I'm
glad I have all of that context now.
The fish. He works at a car wash. And so that part of the game... Oh, and they play the song Working at the Car Wash in the movie.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. You have to press the buttons in the right order. It's Dance Dance Revolution on a PlayStation controller.
But you just have to match the prompts on the screen. It's not even rhythm. It's like you just have to match. It's a reaction time puzzle.
Yeah.
If you lose, you lose. And
you have to start the whole song again. Yep. My stubborn ass spent weeks trying to get it right because unless you got every button exactly perfect, you could not progress.
But also, so did Titanic.
So here's the
Under the sea.
That's what Titanic was missing. Sebastian the Crab.
Yeah. No, if Titanic and Little Mermaid had a crossover, that would have been the best film ever made.
Okay, you know what? Little Mermaid is weird to me because the whole love at first sight
Disney
thing.
own Titanic
No, the whole
now?
love at first sight thing has always been kind of icky to me. If the prince was
What?
the guy from Titanic,
Leonardo DiCaprio, the Ninja Turtle.
It-
Ronaldo.
Leonardo Ronaldo.
Yeah, that guy. Oh, wait. It's like a fish. Carpio?
Yeah, Carpio.
Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio.
If the prince from Little Mermaid was the Carp Man,
Yeah.
it'd make a whole lot more sense. He's real pretty.
Okay, 98 DiCaprio.
When he was still
A twink.
romantic, yeah. When he was still when DiCaprio was still a twink, he would have made good prince.
No, he's pretty enough, is what I'm
He's
saying.
pretty enough, yeah.
Maybe not good enough or funny enough, but definitely pretty enough.
I have a weird relationship with the movie Titanic. Yeah, I could take it or leave it now as a movie. I probably don't ever need to watch it again. As a child, I was obsessed with that movie.
You were obsessed. Obsessed with the film Titanic.
4 years old, almost every picture I drew was of the Titanic, both together and then broken in half. Every time I had a good number of Legos, I would make a Lego Titanic and then break it in half.
What an oddly specific autism to have as a child. Referring to your quirks as autism.
Every individualism. So I love just watching the movie, even though that's a long ass movie. One of the VHS copies we had actually had an intermission.
Did it? Wow.
I remember there being a break in the middle of the movie.
Or was it 2 tapes?
It might have. Oh, it was a box set. It was 2 tapes. You had to put the second one in.
That's why you remember an intermission, because there was literally an intermission.
My dad had to buy a second copy eventually because I wore it out.
Wearing out a VHS.
Of Titanic.
Titanic.
Specifically, I really love the bonk. Both of them. Both the bonking of the 2 leads.
Oh, yeah.
And the bonk of the dude whose head bounces off the propeller. Lots of good bonking of various types in that movie. Yeah, so at the scene where the ship is finally breaking apart, there's just not supposed to be funny, but the sound design is so good. He falls off the vertical ship, and his head hits the propeller and just goes bong, and he bounces off and hits the water.
That's also something I remember about the
And I got in trouble for laughing at it because it was a serious moment in the movie.
Whatever. It's Titanic.
I say in trouble, like my mom was like, "You shouldn't laugh at that. It's not funny."
No, it was actually really funny. The guy who put that sound right there and had to time it, how many times do you think he had to listen to it?
Yeah.
That guy laughed his ass off at that.
They would not have put that sound in.
Unless the guy putting it in was laughing about it.
That's probably one of the things that as a child informed my humor going forward. Titanic was a formative moment in my sense of humor.
Titanic was the comedic movie of my moment. It's the funniest thing I'd ever seen at 4 years old.
4 years old. The first movie my dad ever bought me as a gift was Titanic.
Did you ever, so they used to send out fucking VHS tapes in the mail.
I have not experienced that.
I remember having, like, tapes that only had maybe 3 minutes of content on them total.
On a VHS?
Just advertising stuff. I remember, like, a 2-minute ad.
That seems so bizarre to me, but it's one of those things that it would seem perfectly normal if I had experienced it growing up.
Man, I feel like I was in an odd generational.
It reminds me of
shift.
the video game disc demos you'd get that you could play up until the first story beat, and then it was done.
After you played Parappa the Rappa.
I put hours worth of playtime. Crackdown.
Mine was
I put
also
actual
an Xbox
hours of playtime into the Crackdown demo.
So mine was also an Xbox 360 game. It was Dead Rising.
That was on the other disc.
Yeah, I played the shit out of that demo.
My brother and I would see how many of the little Crackdown tokens you could collect before the demo kicked you out. Going back to VHSs, I know I wore out at least one VHS copy of The Lion King.
It's a good time to fix this so I can fall over again in the middle of our conversation later.
Easy there.
No. I was trying to find the exact point so I was trying to find the pivot.
Trying to find the pivot of the chair.
Of the squeak.
Pivot of the squeak.
It's the pivot of the squeak.
That paints a better picture of what you mean. And this is all about just a chair that has
squeaked for a couple of episodes now. I think we'll continue to squeak for hopefully a few more.
Recording stuff from TV onto a VHS is not something that anybody gets to experience anymore.
Well, that's what VCRs were. They were video cassette recorders. Some of them had 2 or 3 fucking tape slots and timers and shit.
One of my favorite VHS recorded movies was a VHS copy that my dad recorded when he was a kid of the live action He-Man movie.
Hell yeah.
That's got Courtney Cox in it. And the recording was so bad. It had, the distorted VHS audio. The entire movie was like that, where it was out of tune, and then the color was blown out. So there were some scenes in the movie that if it was too bright, you couldn't actually tell what was happening, which is because he recorded it off of cable.
Yeah.
And that was a movie we watched more than once.
I remember my grandfather. I remember him specifically yelling at a VCR for 20 minutes because he couldn't figure out how to set the fucking record time on.
So yeah, we would set the record time because TV watching sitcoms was actually pretty. No, yeah. We scheduled parts of our day around it.
It's amazing to think how far we've come.
Yes, we would schedule our day around the 7 to 8 o'clock time block because there were shows we had to watch.
Yeah, imagine every commercial break. Everybody went to take a piss at the same time.
We would, if we were going to be out and there was a show we wanted to watch, we'd set a timer and record it. Every now and then there'd be severe weather alerts and the news would go on too long. And so the time you set the show to record is now wrong.
Or worse yet, you have to watch half of a fucking tornado watch or a warning.
Yeah. So
then you get to watch the back half of the episode.
So either they just play it over the first half of the show, or they don't show the show. They start the show from the beginning, but not until later, and just push the whole block back. And so you get home and you go to watch your favorite show, but you can't really be mad because some people died. People died in the tornado, and I'm mad that I didn't watch my shows.
Would you be angry if you got to be a ghost and some dude was pissed off because the tornado warning kept him from watching his show? The tornado that killed you, that you didn't see the warning for, you were asleep already. It didn't matter.
That's the closest thing to a meaningful death I could ever hope for. Except it's not even possible anymore. I can't fuck up someone's VCR with my death anymore.
No, there's probably still somebody.
You think there's still somebody out there?
They're not all dead.
Making programming a VCR for.
There was some guy
live television
who was 25 when he stockpiled fucking tape. He was just a weirdo. He had a stockpile of tapes and he was recording this one show. And it's not on the air anymore, but he still records. He found a new show. Nobody taught him about Netflix. He doesn't have internet. He lives out in fucking the middle of the swamp or in Louisiana or some shit.
I figured a name, but there's a lady with just decades of VHS. She was just constantly recording. She recorded everything.
I would love to go through some of
that. So she has stuff that
no one has.
I'm pretty sure she has stuff that's gotten put in the Library of Congress.
Yeah,
because to be preserved.
That entire collection should be
because there's stuff that
preserved.
She has the only recordings of any of it.
Yes, all of that collection should be digitized and uploaded to the fucking internet. Be able to watch that shit.
I've seen several news stories about that lady, and I can never remember her name. But VHS, I almost miss VHS tapes. I miss playing around with the little.
Yeah, they were fidgety things. You could just flap the top back and forth.
Yeah, so if we had a recording tape.
All the different flavors of case that the VHSs came in. The Blockbuster ones that were padded.
I hated the padded ones because they didn't click nice.
No.
My favorites were the ones from had really nice VHS cases because they would be real thick black plastic.
Oh, yeah. And
they'd make the best popping noise.
My favorite cases, the cheapest, shittiest cardboard ones that you could just fling at people.
But I always hated the VHS cases that were just it was like a binder.
Yeah,
type of material.
That vinyl,
puffy.
I say Blockbuster, and you immediately know what I mean.
Yeah, and then you open it up, and it's just the shittiest plastic. They make a whole lot of noise, and none of it's good, and it makes it hard to sneak out of your room. It makes it hard to sneak out of your room and watch that movie.
Tape player, clunk. Not as bad as a PlayStation 2, but shit. My PlayStation 2 actually woke my father up one time. I muted the TV. The system woke him up. The console.
I don't remember mine being that loud.
Mine got that loud.
And we got one that year because my parents won $1,000 on a scratch-off ticket the month of Christmas.
How fortuitous.
Yeah.
What a good year.
It was.
Yeah, no, my PlayStation 2 only got loud after I left Grand Theft Auto Vice City sitting in it for several hundred hours. So I didn't save that game 4 or 5 days. And I had to basically replay all of Vice City.
This is just the nostalgia episode.
We're old men now, and everything we like is gone.
The vampires.
Yeah.
And the Kane's Legacy.
Yeah.
The problem is the memory card. Oh, no, the disc. No, it wasn't the memory card. It was the disc. The disc was scratched up just enough that you couldn't save to the memory card. It would corrupt the file every single time. My brother and I would see how far we could get into the game before we had to turn the PlayStation off.
You can't skip the cutscenes because that's where they are on the disc.
Yeah.
It has to play that.
It has to play it.
Because it still has to go through
It
all
doesn't
of that
even
anyway.
understand the concept of skipping a cutscene because that's just where the disc is. Those grooves
You
can't
got
be
it so
skipped.
good nowadays, Kitty. You can skip every cutscene. We're only talking about video games in the sense of how they failed physically.
Not the game itself.
Not the actual
how
games
they physically
themselves.
failed. Yeah, my copy of Jack 3, the center ring where it clicks into place, was cracked. And the more I played that game, the less I could play that game.
So, you know how on the center of the CD spindle there were the little ball bearings?
Yeah.
All of them fell out one day on my PlayStation, my first PlayStation. They just popped out, and it just wouldn't hold discs anymore. It would just spin with the disc in the middle. I guess I'm not playing this anymore because I had a PlayStation 2 already. I just wanted to play, the ice cream van that's angry and shoots Twisted Metal. It was one of the Twisted Metal games. I rented because the cover was cool. It was Twisted Metal 2 or something. And I was like, I've never played that one. I'll try it out. I go to put it in my old ass fucking, and then it starts spinning. And the disc stays it spins a little, but it's basically still, and it's just going shh, making a terrible grinding noise. What a good memory to have.
Oh, speaking of just mechanical failure of video games.
Dude, the Xbox was actually a hardy piece of hardware.
It was probably, we had it for maybe a year, where my brother and I, again, were roughhousing. And the disc tray was out. One of us stepped on it, and it wouldn't go back in. And that's a moment of pure panic. You know you fucked up, but you're like, but maybe it's okay. And then the tray doesn't go back in, and you want to throw up because it's Dad's Xbox. He comes home from work. I don't think we tried to hide it because we couldn't have. We just were me like, hey, bad thing happened. He took it apart. He took the top off of it and fixed it. I think we had just dislodged it.
Yeah, there's a little rubber band in there.
And we were not allowed to play it for 2 months.
And you did anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how that works.
At that house, I also got grounded for sneaking out of my room to watch SpongeBob from the hallway with the sound off because the TV never got turned off, and so I was just kind of basically standing in the hallway looking out.
I just wanted to see what was on it, and then I got stuck there watching it for 2 hours.
And I can't remember if I turned it on and then turned the sound down and then hid in the hallway like they weren't going to notice that the TV was on. This is the same house with the toilet baby anxiety, by the way. Imagine looking at something, and that's what it looked like.
I lack an imagination.
I know that you was Aphantasia.
I didn't like that film.
And I like to continually remind you that you don't have an imagination.
I like to continually remind you. What were we talking about? No, there was a fix for the red ring of death.
Oh!
Is wrapping your shit in a towel.
Because the thermal paste failing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it worked. People got real deep into fixing those
by
things.
that point, we had a functioning new 360.
I remember...
But we wanted to be able to play when Dad was playing. We wanted to be able to play in our room.
Yeah.
If somebody else was using the TV. I got 3 colors.
Why?
But the colors don't match up to the holes on the TV.
Why does the TV not have colors and just tells me words? I don't know what the words correspond to color-wise. Fuck.
Well, no, it was the white one, I think, that it never plugged into the one you thought it did.
Mario would just smear off into the void. And you'd be like, what in the fuck is going on right now? Man,
I spent 30 minutes setting this up only to realize I didn't want to be doing this 10 minutes in.
I really don't actually, I don't know, maybe.
Everything is just flat panels, basically. It's just like...
That's something you walk up to and sit at. You know...
How many feet is that?
Maybe 1.
I don't know TV measurements.
Those fucking sick-ass trucker TVs that had a little VHS slot and like an 8-inch screen. And it's only in black and white. They sold those in the 90s.
We had this shitty little gray TV that was basically a computer monitor. That's what it looked like. That's how chunky it was. And it only showed black and white.
One of my first computer memories is a computer that my dad had. And it had an amber screen, like yellow text on a black background.
Oh.
That's all it was. It was
it
was no graphic interface. It was a computer. That's informed so much of what I think about computers, though. Is just that.
Growing up with that.
That was one of the first computers I played with. That wasn't my first computer. That wasn't... we had a real computer. One of my earliest memories is my dad playing Doom, and I was sitting in his lap. I was 3 or 4 years old.
Tony Hawk One of the first games I would ever play with my dad was Tony Hawk, and I wouldn't play it with him. He'd be playing Tony Hawk, and every time he fucked up a trick, he'd shove me over on the couch, and then he'd be like, "Nah, come on, dude, I won't do it again." And then I'd sit right next to him again. Every time he wiped out.
That's really funny.
You know how when he fucked up a trick on Tony Hawk 2, the letters would bleed off the screen?
Yeah, I kind of hate that now.
Yeah, my cousin was scared of it. My dad had to stop playing Tony Hawk whenever my cousin was over because he would hide behind the couch because of the scary letters.
That's why I didn't like English. There's a lot of scary letters.
Especially K.
I'm not... Yeah, me and K are right. J, though.
No, just K looks foreboding.
J.
Yeah, it's always doubling back on itself.
I'm okay with the lowercase j, though, because the little dot makes it seem happy.
The little tittle makes the lowercase j more trustworthy.
A little tittle makes the...
Okay, so the little tittle on the j, lowercase j, is like the equivalent of the kid with the ball cap that has the propeller on it.
Ball cap, after our sack discussion, has a completely different context for me now. Just the idea of a little hat for your penis.
This really is an episode in 2 parts because the first, 10 minutes is just ball sacks.
Oh, the first 10 minutes was abortion.
And then ball sacks.
And then ball sacks.
And then video games, but not video games. Mechanical failures.
Of our video game systems. What are you going to talk about video game? Like, if you actually talk about the content of video games, what are you talking about?
That doesn't matter. They were never good.
No. Video games are for wasting time. Like a podcast. You listen to a podcast while you play a video game because you're trying to forget about the rest of your life.
Playing a game and listening to a podcast at the same time is purely because you need something to do but don't want to do anything.
I mean, I played World of Warcraft for years. I get it.
I used to play Destiny.
They're the same game. World of Warcraft and Destiny are the same game. It's just Destiny's way more fun to play because you get to move.
Destiny is just Borderlands that takes itself too seriously.
Borderlands could be good. If there were way less guns, Borderlands would be way cooler. What's the hottest take you can make? I
want Borderlands gun restriction version.
They actually made that game. It's called Rage.
Yeah. The state of Texas is almost bad as the state of existence.
Yes.
Hey Texas, fuck you.
Dear Texas.
Not even fuck the citizens of Texas, just the state.
No, the actual. I'm only sexually attracted to the state.
No, talking about the states of the U.S. as if they're states of matter.
No, they don't.
What does Texas sublimate to? When Texas evaporates?
Steers and queers.
That's the condensate that forms.
As it gets hotter and hotter, it goes from the solid matter of steers to then the liquid of queers. And then finally, just a gas of Texas.
The state of Texas most closely represents the gaseous state of matter.
Yes. It's
in its most stable state.
All the little pieces of Texas are moving incredibly quickly and going nowhere. That's why it's so hot here.
There's a whole lot of jiggle, but not a lot of wiggle.
No. It's all jiggle, no wiggle.
I think I'm done.
I think I'm about done, too. Stop recording.